Hey, what's up? I've got some more lore content for you guys. Along with my recently released new players guides and deck building video, I wanted to update my 3 decks for beginners series since the last one was half a year ago now. New cards have come out, and each of these decks have some number changes to them, some more than others, and I wanted to showcase the new powerful lists. If you're a new player trying to get into the game, then this video is for you. I made 3 budget, easy to play, and powerful decks that are intuitive for new players to hop on and get that early lead over your opponents. These decks can be crafted using only commons and rares. I wanted to avoid epics because it takes a while to get even 3 epic wild cards, but I will talk about some epic cards to slot in when you get the resources. I will also talk about champion replacements and inclusions during each deck rundown, and each deck code will be in the description below along with the Mobalytics links. Before I get into the video, if you're new, please consider hitting the subscribe button to stay up to date with my content. Our journey to 10k subs is still going strong, and I need all the support I can get, so it'd be awesome if you joined. This is the only channel where you can get my specific style of content and in-depth guides, so you won't regret subbing. I also stream on Twitch often, so check me out over there if you're looking for live gameplay of someone who's hit high master tier every season, and even hit rank 1 in NA a while back. With that, I hope you enjoy this video. Also, quick disclaimer, you won't be able to build these decks as is day 1 or anything. These are simply decks to build early and work towards as a new player while learning the fundamentals of the game. Most likely, you will start with the default versions of these decks, and then use the resources you get to refine them to the final versions that I have in this video. With that, we can talk about the first one, which is my favorite of the 3. It is Spiders, also a deck that I used to climb to top 50, even top 40 players in NA this season where I peaked. Very good. Spiders are a default deck. You're given 2 Elise as a new player. All you need to do is craft the 3rd one, and you're actually good for champions with this deck. The rest of the deck is just comprised of commons and rares, so it is the most budget friendly and powerful deck that a new player has access to. It's really good. It's very aggressive, so if you like aggro strategies and other card games, then this is for you. You want to play fast, nice 5-minute games at most, trying to kill the opponent by turn 6, or shaking their hand and saying, you know what, you had enough removal for me, you win, right? That's usually how it goes. You either end the game or lose by turn 6. So if you're into grinding really fast games really quickly, really good, this deck is for you. Take a look at the curve, look at that. 12 1-drops, 13 2-cost cards, 12 3-cost cards, and then only 3 5-costs, which is our Decimates, which is a finisher. So yeah, any combination of opening hands, you're going to get something that's playable, something on 1, 2, 3, and then you just try to maximize your damage 4, 5, 6, and end the game that way. So first we have the premium Noxus aggro cards, Legion Rearguard, Saboteur, Precious Pet. They all do really good damage on 1. Depending on your matchup, you want to play different cards. So that's actually where a little bit of skill expression comes in. Knowing which matchups to play Rearguard versus Saboteur versus Precious Pet is really interesting. For example, if you're fighting Bandle City and that you think they're going to play Otterpuss or Inventive Chemist on 1, you usually want to do Precious Pet, right? Because those are not fearsome blockers, but they can block the Rearguard. But Chemist can even kill the Rearguard, and Otterpuss can kill Legion Saboteur, so usually Precious Pet is good into them, and so on. Stygian Onlooker is really cool. He's not actually a 1-cost card because you never play him on 1. You play him with his Nightfall effect, which means he's not the first card played in a round. So if you play anything else and then Stygian, he gets the bonus effect. Use him in conjunction with other cards on attack 2, attack 3, attack 4. Whenever it is you have the attack token, you play him later, and then you get really strong attack turns in. If the opponent uses removal spells on something else and Stygian gets the hit, that is 4 damage going to the enemy face. Really good. Next we have Spider Synergy cards, Arachnid Horror, Elise, House Spider. Very good there. They all just like swarm the board. Elise can level sometimes, which is really strong. Being able to give all of the allies Fearsome and Challenger, manipulate attacks in your favor, push a lot of damage. Then we have direct damage 2-cost cards. Demolitionist, deal 1 to an ally, deal 2 directly to the enemy nexus. Legion Grenadier, deal 1 to the enemy nexus. As you can see, we play a lot of cards that deal damage directly to the enemy nexus, or swarm the board. Those are the 2 biggest playstyles of Spiders, pretty much what we're going for. Stalking Shadows to look at the top 4 cards, pick an ally, get 2 copies of it essentially, really good for resources, really good for direct damage cards, and then just ending the game with the Decimate and the Fervor. I've said it time and time again, this deck's motto is, the opponent has 20 HP, so we're going to bring 40 damage. That's the main theme of the deck. It's a lot of fun, it's really explosive, has some really fast openers. If your opponent does not open the perfect answers, you can run away with this game. Even in bad matchups, if you fight a control deck and they just don't open well, you can still take the game from them. And that's what I really like about spiders. Their ability to just explode and deal infinite damage to the enemy in just the first couple turns, really good, really fun. And that about wraps it up for the spider profile. Now here's a live commentary game so you can see how the deck plays out. I'll be giving context to why I'm playing certain cards, and hopefully it gives you a good feel on how to play the deck. Alright, so we got Soraka Tom. Soraka Tom is all about fearsome units, that's what we need the most of. So I'm actually going to keep Frenzied Skitter, because a lot of Tahm Kench units cannot block fearsomes. They usually have 2 or less attack, including both champions. So we're going to pitch the Stalking Shadows. We can keep our 1-drop, keep our 2, and we want to keep Skitter in this matchup. When we're attacking on evens, we usually want to open multiple 1-drops, so we'll see if we get them. If not, it's okay to curve 1 into 2. Ooh, especially with Elise on 2, it's perfect. Since I have a really spider-focused opener, I think it's better to play Precious Pet into Elise and then try to threaten an Elise level, whereas Saboteur is really good for pushing damage. Since our hand is really spider focused and we already see the Elise, we should go for Spider Synergy. That way we can turbo level her. It may be difficult for the opponent to deal with this already. Elise is a very high priority to play on attack 2 because it's pretty hard to develop a fearsome blocker. Even if they do, it's usually a 3 attack 1 HP unit, so the 1 HP will just die, so it's not too bad. Elise on attack also gives us a free 1/1 attacker. That's going to deal 1 extra damage here to this 2/2, or threatens face. Very good. Alright, if we top deck 1 more spider of any kind, we could actually level Elise. As long as it's playable. Let's be Precious Pet or House Spider. Off the top, here we go. Doom Beast. Okay, so we're not getting Elise level this turn, but that's alright. Now we should just set up... an Arachnoid Horror and a Saboteur. And then we'll play Skitter next turn. This is completely fine. For the most part, we just want to take that. It's not worth trading or dealing damage to our units, so we're better off just taking the damage and then racing them. Yeah, we'll lead with Saboteur. Let them play something else, and then we'll do Skitter to lower the attack of everything on the board. And look at that, this is a full attacking board on attack 4, threatening infinite damage. I don't really care about Elise's Spider, so it's okay if it gets eaten by the Void over here. There it goes. Pushing 2 direct, and threatening 4, 7, 10, 13 damage. Yeah. 1 Pale Cascade can make this a fearsome blocker, and that's pretty much it. That's all they could do. Otherwise, look at this. They're at 16 HP, and now they're at 1 HP. Very killable next turn. Skitter on attack, really good. Yep, no problem. We should also get Elise level.
Let me change into something more comfortable.
Yep. Units just literally cannot block. Feels good, man. Fearsome is a very powerful keyword, especially in this meta. Take down, that's fine. That's fine. Yep. I'm pretty sure there's nothing they could do for, like, Fervor to face. However, they could be on double Guiding Touch, which would heal 4 total. So it's not really worth using my Noxian Fervor. I think I could do Precious Pet Doom Beast. Call that a day. This also threatens lethal. And if they have heals, then we just go into open attack with our Fearsomes and win that way. There we go, no heals, so they're just good there. Let's go, spiders. Alright, moving on to the next deck, and the one that is arguably the most different from the last guide, because a lot of new cards came out recently that support Demacia, and this deck abuses them so hard. This is actually really fun. I started playing Scouts in Ranked as well, and got like 100 LP with them. Super fun, super good deck. I'm really glad that new players have access to a Scout core, because learning Scouts is actually really good for fundamentals. It's a really awesome, aggressive mid-range style deck, somewhere in the middle of being like super aggro, super mid-rangey. It does both. The list I have for you guys is the Lucian variation, because new players start with MF and Lucian. I will also showcase the Quinn variation and what you should work towards at the end of this section. So let's talk about this specifically. Scouts are all about attacking multiple times on the same turn, whether that be through the Scout keyword or through Demacia rally effects. So the way I built this version is only commons and rares, so no epics. Again, I'll showcase the finalized list that does have the epics right after I talk about each of these numbers. And this is the super aggressive Lucian version. So Lucian levels if Senna dies, or if he sees 4 allies die. He has quick attack, so he's usually pretty good on offense. So we got Fleet Feather Tracker, Ranger's Resolve. These are 1-cost cards. If we're playing Tracker on 1, that's awesome. That's what we're trying to do. If we don't get Tracker, then we're floating that 1 mana so that we can play Ranger's Resolve for the rest of the game, which is also a really good card in this meta, because there's a lot of Pokey Stick going around from Vandal City. Tough, being able to nullify that instance of 1 damage, awesome. Also really good against Vile Feast if you're fighting Darkness or other Shadow Isles control strategies. So Range Resolve, super high value. So if we're playing Fleet Feather Tracker on 1, we're always rocking Bright Steel Protector on 2. This is the Demacia 1/2 combo, really strong, so they are a must include. After that, we have a new card that just came out recently with the Galio expansion. 2 mana 2/2 Durand Sculptor. When you summon another ally, grant it 0/1. So being able to develop Sculptor on 2 into MF on 3 to give her a little bit more protection is awesome. I think playing Sculptor on 2 and then Lucian on 3, Senna on 4 is also a really good line of play in terms of power, and being able to develop champions really efficiently with extra HP. +1 HP does really go a long way in Legends Runeterra, especially with the other buff cards that we're running, like the Ranger's Resolve and the Sharp Sight. Next is Lucian, the first champion. He becomes an absolute attacking machine if he levels. Also, extra copies of him become rallies, allowing you to attack even more times. You can go like attacking 3 times a turn on your opponent's turn. It's really crazy. Petricite Broadwing, another new card that just came out. We are abusing this because it is an absolutely broken card, especially just for a rarity. This is a must craft right away for Demacia strategies. 2 mana 0/3, has Challenger, so it can grab whatever it wants, and Formidable, which means it strikes with its HP instead of its power. So it hits for 3. If it hits something that has 2 attack, then it trades into them, and then also lives to hit something else. So really good 2-for-1 combo. Also, having Challenger has synergy with Misfortune, because Misfortune will deal 1 damage to enemy things in combat. So Challenger is just a really good keyword to have alongside Misfortune, so you can manipulate attacks in your favor. That's also why Tracker's being run. So we got 2 of the Challenger units. Next, we got Sharp Sight. The best combat trick that Demacia has access to. 2 mana burst speed +2/+2 can block elusives, so those pesky Teemos, those pesky elusive units that are hitting you, no problem. Ezreal, no problem. We Sharp Sight that and then block, easy. Misfortune, really strong champion, wants to see you attack multiple times, which this deck is doing a lot. So get that MF level, get a bunch of damage to the enemy face, and she has Overwhelm, very good there. Senna, 3 mana 4/2 quick attack. So if we don't have MF to play on 3, we have Senna as like a pseudo champion, being able to have a small level up effect if she sees Lucian die. So if you play Lucian into Senna, sometimes that's just a lock for your opponent. It's really hard for them to deal with both units once they've been developed, other than something like Avalanche. But if they have the bonus HP from like Sculptor, or you have Ranger's Resolve, or you have Sharp Sight, then Avalanche isn't even a good out, because then you can force level one of them. Usually Lucian. Lucian's the better one to level. So it gets kind of out of control for the opponent. They just kind of like run away with the game in the same sense that spiders do, but instead of doing it through HP, this deck runs its aggressiveness through having a stronger board than the opponent in classic Demacia fashion. That's basically how Demacia decks play. Next, we have Vanguard Sergeant, 3 mana 3/4, really good to play on 3. He's got 4 Demacia in hand for us. Nice, being able to finish out the game by playing a bunch of units, going wide, having your board full, and then buffing them all, and then attacking relentlessly multiple times a turn. Very good. Next we have 2 rally cards here. Golden Aegis, give an area barrier and then rally. Boom, get to attack again. Island Navigator is a scout, really good with Misfortune. So scouts work like this. If you attack with only scouts, you get to attack it again the same turn. And this also works on your defense. So if you rally and then attack with scouts, then you get another attack token, allowing you to attack twice on the opponent's turn, which seems kind of unfair. And you know what? It kinda is, but we like that. Another Relentless Pursuit, here we go. This is another rally card, very good. And then we have Moose to round out this list. Moose is a common, he's a scout. I'm using him to replace Cythria and Genevieve because those are epics, and I wanted to showcase a more budget-friendly version of the deck first. So here we go, this is Moose, 5 mana 5/5 with Scout, being able to attack twice, good mid-game pressure, good way to close out the game. And that's pretty much it. It's actually really aggressively focused and super enjoyable to play. You should get a combination of good cards in the early game to have a playable hand and be able to outpressure the opponent with the different units, combat tricks being Ranger's Resolve and Sharp Sight, and all the pressure you have. And this is what the refined list is going to look like once you get more resources and are able to craft more rares and epics. The code for this will also be in the description below if you want to have something to work towards. I highly recommend the first version with Lucian at first because you have access to Misfortune and Lucian, and then once you're able to craft even more champions, get the 3 Quins, and the deck will look like this. 3 Mariah Warden, because that's a rare. Got the Quinn because she's slightly more powerful, and then 2 Cythria because she's an epic and is a good way to close out the game, and 2 Genevieve, which is another epic. Good way to close out the game as well. Really good pressure. And that's it for the scout profile. Now I'm going to play a showcase game. I'm going to be using the first variation that has the Lucian for better new player guidance. Alright, for the scout showcase game, we got Jace Lux. Pretty good board-centric and removal-based deck. So I think keeping our combat tricks are going to be very good. Being able to boost up HP when our units are going to get Mystic Shotted and stuff like that is nice. I don't think we want Bright Steel Protector here. We're going to play MF on 3 for sure. Oh, perfect. Sculptor's amazing here. So we float turn 1, allowing us to play Ranger's Resolve later for protection. Play Sculptor on 2. If she gets Mystic Shotted, we have the Rangers. Ooh, we could also go Lucian into Senna. I think I want to set up the Sculptor, right? No, I think Lucian into Senna is so good here, actually. Mainly because they're on 1 mana now. Can't even deal with the Lucian. So once we set up, we have the lock. And then we'll do Sculptor on 4. Oh, we have double Sculptor on 4 into MF on 5. It's so good. Alright. Perfect. We're on so many champions. So what's probably going to happen is a Mystic Shot here. And we got Rangers. And we have Sharp Sight next turn. Oh, let's go. It's funny because Mystic Shot's not even a good answer. We'll swing like this. I like attacking with Lucian on the right in case something weird happens to Senna. It's probably better to do Lucian on the left, Senna on the right, because Lucian's more often going to get dealt with. But I have protection. So it probably doesn't matter too much. Ignition, okay, that's fine. Yeah, so we have the opponents on lockdown. It's just how much pressure these two deliver. Shock Blast. Yeah, they're both dying, right? Not with my Sharp Sight, they ain't. So let's do Sharp Sight Lucian. That will let him live through this. And allow us to get our level.
We're gonna need more coffins.
And then we can do a Sculptor. So this is a must-remove unit. This is a must-remove unit. Misfortune's going to be a must-remove unit, and it's just going to be too much for the opponent. Way too much. Red Rummage, that's fine. You're actually attacking? What? Wait, attacking doesn't make a lot of sense. I'd get a rally, yeah, and then double attack you. Moose. No, we never play Moose here. We'll do Sculptor into MF.
Every work demands a piece of ourselves.
That way we still have our Ranger's Resolve for the turn, and Miss Fortune's gonna double buffed HP, and the opponent's only on 5 mana. They actually can't deal with this at all. They needed that Shock Blast to work, but I had Sharp Sight in hand. And I played my mana efficiently to always have the protection. Look at this board. This is so crazy for attack 5. We can honestly full swing. Because Misfortune passive will deal with this. Flash of Brilliance is okay. It's not even playable. Get excited. Yep. I actually can't deal with that. Rangers would still make it die. Sure. Get excited pitched for the Fallen, which is a generated card. Okay.
Where's my hammer?
Let me just swing here then. And then we can develop our Moose, go into multiple attacks, hopefully draw into a rally. Oh, Sergeant's also nice. 6 mana, and then 2 spell mana. Could just be Lux here, right? Ballistic Bot. It's a big moose. Holy moly, I've never seen a moose this big. 5/7 on summon. Assembly line is okay. That is Jace level, yeah, you're right. Not too scared of that though. I don't think there's any combination of spells that can actually deal with Misfortune through Rangers, so I don't need to Bright Steel Protector. I could just open with the Moose attack, and then Bright Steel after. There's nothing for 7 that kills MF here through my Rangers.
Come on, then.
Yep. Now, if we were on a rally in hand, we'd get MF level this turn very safely. Sergeant would leave us with 5 mana left, right? Let me see, I'm on 9 plus 3. No, I could actually do a or Demacia. Yeah, let's do that.
A Demacian soldier is worth 10 foes.
Now that they play below a lot of mana, like they're only on 3 after this ignition, right? I don't need the Ranger's Resolve for the turn anymore. Because I would save Ranger's Resolve to protect MF. Anything else is kind of expendable. Look at this. Okay. Yeah, we are beating you down. Oh, yeah. Definitely emote worthy.
Meet them head on.
And that should be lethal. I don't think there's anything you can do about it either. No single combat. Nope. Block most. And then still exact lethal. 5 here, 1 from MF passive. Nice. The Moose carry. Alright, and the final deck I have is an Ashe deck. Now, I always recommend Ashe because you get an Ashe deck for your 7-day login bonus. You get Ashe plus some Shadow Isles stuff, which is really interesting. However, I like to take Ashe away from Shadow Isles and run her by herself or with Noxus because there's a lot of awesome Noxus synergy. So I wanted to showcase a deck with Ashe and a bunch of commons and rares. Just like the Scout deck, I have a refined version that will show at the end of this list, but let's talk about the numbers. We have 6 1-cost cards, triple Brittle Steel, and triple Omen Hawk. Omen Hawk, really awesome, comes down on 1, being able to buff the next couple turns worth of units, or maybe even hitting Ashe herself. Really high value, can block aggressive units in the early game that have 1 HP. Brittle Steel is really good at being Frostbite synergy, leveling up Ashe, and winning combat, turning the tides in your favor. Iceveil Archer is a 2-mana 3/1 that frostbites an enemy, really good for defense, really good for Ashe synergy to try to level her. Triferian Glory Seeker is a challenger unit, so it can grab whatever it wants. It can't block, but it swings into literally anything it wants, as long as she doesn't get killed by 1 damage removal, where we have a Troll Chant to try to protect her. Other than that, just trying to swing into things that are frostbitten is really high value, so you can take control of the board and win through that. And then we got Erosion Trapper here. Trapper creates a Yeti. Yetis are nice. Really good pressure in the mid game, especially. Troll Champ, which I briefly talked about. 2 mana burst speed spell, grant an ally 2 HP, grant an enemy -2. So you get to target 2 things, swings combat in your favor, sometimes 2 units or like 2 attacks in your favor. Really, really good. Culling Strike, kill a unit with 3 or less power. This hits a lot of champions just outright that have 3 or less attack, but if you Frostbite anything, it will also kill that. So it's just a really flexible card. Really, really good with Frostbite. Flash Freeze, 3 mana burst speed, Frostbite an enemy, good for synergy. It's burst speed, so they can't react to it. Rime Fang Wolf, 3 mana 3/2. If I strike a unit with 0 power, kill it. This obviously has Frostbite synergy as well, being able to challenge a unit. It can also hit things that have like 1 attack, like Pesky Teemos, small elusive units, just like swing into them without even needing to Frostbite. It can also swing into formidable units and kill them outright, like Galio. However, it will take damage back. Keep that in mind. Rime Fang Wolf will die for it because the formidable units strike with their health, but it's really good at killing those as well, like the Rime Fang, or not the Rime Fang, the Broadwing, and yeah, again Galio, and other really, really high value formidable units. Ashe, our champion to play around. She's the solo champion in this list. In the refined version, I will talk about some extra champions to slot in, but we got Ashe. Really, really good. She was buffed a little bit ago, actually. Once you Frostbite 4 enemies, she levels, and Frostbitten enemies cannot block. So this is really good for setting up strong attack turns. You play a bunch of units, and you Crystal Arrow, Frostbite everything, and you also have other Flash Freezes and stuff like that in order to Frostbite the board. Nothing can block, and you just swing. Whispered Words for draw. It's a 4 mana draw too, but if you strike with 5+ attack damage 4 times, so Ashe herself and Yetis, if they attack multiple times, you can actually get this discounted, which is nice. So it'll be a 2 mana draw 2, but if it's just a 4 mana draw 2, it's not the worst thing in the world. Really, really good for drawing through resources and getting what you need in the mid game. Rime Tusk Shaman is an include in here. It's a takeout when you play the more refined versions, but it's actually pretty good in beginner-friendly lists. It's a lockdown on the opponent, 5 mana 3/4. Round start, Frostbite the strongest enemy. Really, really annoying for opponents to deal with. 4 HP is pretty tanky, and can just like set up after Ashe to have permanent Frostbite. Then after that, we got Harsh Winds. 6 mana burst speed, Frostbite 2 enemies. It's just Flash Freeze ×2, but in 1 card. Pretty cost efficient, actually, if you think about it like that. And then Rime Fang Den Mother as a potential finish card. When I'm summoned, summon a Rime Fang pack. Grant it 1/1 for each time you Frostbite enemies. So if you Frostbite a whole lot over the course of the game, you're rewarded with a strong Overwhelm unit. Overwhelm does piercing damage through blockers. So if this thing is like 6 attack, ooh, that's pretty nice. You summon a 5/5 and a 6/6 with Overwhelm if you've Frostbitten 5 times, and that's pretty easy to do. This thing will probably actually be much bigger than that. This could be like an 8/8 or even a 9/9. It can help close out games in this beginner-friendly list before you can get to the more efficient ending cards like Pharaon and stuff. And very quickly, this is what the refined list is going to look like. Dropping a Brittle Steel, adding in some champions when you get the champion wall cards. I like 2 LeBlanc and 1 Sejuani. We don't run 3 LeBlanc because opening multiple copies of her is not very good, since her champ spell is pretty weak. It's 4 mana Mystic Shot. So to prevent that, we just want to run 2 LeBlanc so that we don't open multiple copies, and instead we can run 1 Sejuani that can come up and be pretty relevant in some games. Has Frostbite synergy with Ashe, has Overwhelm, really good in the mid game. Let's see, what else we got? We got the Whisper Words in here, but here's some epics right here. Erosion Hearthguard, really, really good. This can also attack and proc Reputation for draw. Reckoning is an epic card. If you have 5+ power ally, kill all units with 4 or less power. This includes your own, but if you're hitting like 4 of your opponent's units with this, you just kind of win the game outright because that's a lot of tempo in your favor. It's a huge tempo swing. You can also do some number changes here if you want to take out the Rime Fang Wolf and put in Captain Pharaon so you have some late game insurance. He's pretty good. This is what he looks like. Really big unit, 8 mana 8/8 with Overwhelm. Creates Decimates to close out the game. You could probably drop Rime Fang completely, do 2 Pharaon and 3rd Brittle Steel. So the numbers are there for you to play with. You can do a couple different things, but this is the version that I like running. It's got a lot of draw, a lot of consistency. Got the Reckoning as a blowout card, being able to immediately end some games. A lot of protection, double champions to play around in the early mid. So good. Again, this code will also be in the description below along with the less refined version. I'll be showcasing the less refined version as that is better for beginner players, so let's go do that. Alright, for the Ashe Showcase we got Silver Action. Another very powerful deck. Okay, so we're going to pitch Flash Freeze. Probably keep these two, or these three. I don't have anything to play on 1, so we'll float turn 1. We'll play Glory Seeker on 2. Then we'll play Icevale Archer on attack 3, which gives us 2 mana to work with for that turn, which is our Troll Chant mana. So this is good. This works out mana efficiently. We got Whispered Words to draw into some stuff later. Nice. And Rhyme Test on 5. Alright. For the most part now, we just need Ashe. I'll be pretty happy. Ooh, Trapper on 3. Broadwing? That's pretty annoying. I could actually just float this. Am I okay with Broadwing hitting Glory Seeker? Not really. I could just pass. Take the free damage. And then develop. Because I don't want this to challenge my Glory Seeker. I want to try to get some value from this first. Before it just dies outright. Did get our Ashe. Very nice. So we'll do Archer here. And then swing over that, while also attacking with our Archer. So this is a free trade. This is a good trade. We could do our Troll Chant now to make this live. I think that's very worth it. Because this is going to put the opponent in a situation where they have to attack Icevale Archer with Broadwing. Then we can develop Ashe after. Since that's the only thing I want to do this turn, I'm okay with using the Troll Chant last turn. Because I just want to develop Ashe now. Yep. Put the opponent in an awkward spot. Of course we don't play Ashe here yet. We never play Ashe. Not until the attack is over. Yep. Perfect. So we got the Broadwing out of here. Now we can develop our Ashe. And we can actually open attack if we want. I'm a little scared of a buff, right? So if I do this, Ashe is going to Frostbite it. Glory Seeker is going to hit. But then if they're on Sharp Sight or Shapestone, 2/1 can block Ashe, which is kind of annoying. I wish I had another protection card in hand. Okay, apparently that's just enough. Alright, the last showcase game was very good in terms of showcasing how to use pressure and cards in combination with each other, but it was quite short, so I got another game for you guys. Bonus showcase game for Ashe. Yuumi Pantheon, very popular deck. I'd say S tier. So really, really strong here. Let's pitch Den Mother, pitch the Harsh Winds. Trapper, I don't know. We definitely want something to play in the early game. It's gonna be kind of hard. I think Freeze is pretty good against Pantheon though. Brittle Steel, okay. Pass first 2 turns, we like that. No Saga Seeker. I think Dragon is probably gonna come down. But we can play our Trapper here. Trapper into Ashe into Rhyme Tusk. Get the lockdown. I don't think we ever attack Trapper into Dragon because they could be on infinite buffs in hand. So the way Pantheon works is they have faded units. Whenever they're targeted with a buff, they also gain an additional 1/1 alongside the buff itself. So this would be really bad for me. I'd have to Brittle Steel first and then swing. I don't think it's worth it. Ooh, Troll Chant's nice. Yuumi maybe? No, second Dragon. Okay. Play Ashe. I'm pretty fine with this because I have a lot of protection now. I got Brittle Steel, I got Troll Chant. Same best, yep. That's fine. Oh, pass. Cool. Let us first action attack, aka open attack. We get 2/3. I got Troll Chant. I got Brittle Steel. I got Culling Strike. I have a lot going for me here. Yeah. Probably a Sharp Sight or something. No? What are you waiting for then? Okay. Sure. Demacia Targon does not have quick and easy ways to deal 1 damage to my Ashe, so her being at 1 HP is not even that threatening. We'll just start the lockdown. I could be on double Rhyme Tusk.
Come out from your shadows, demon.
Yep. Culling Strike is pretty much never safe because Faded keyword's kind of annoying. As soon as they do Sharp Sight and Pale Cascade, anything leaves Culling Strike range.
Tell me of
Oh, a Silence. It's pretty annoying. This has already been targeted. We could Culling Strike the Saga Seeker, maybe? No, even one Sharp Sight pushes him to 4 attack, right? +2/+2, +1 from Faded. Yeah, that's +3. So he'd be at 4 attack off the Sharp Sight. So I can't realistically Culling. Hey, what's up, Yeti? Guiding Touch unit. Just don't give it Overwhelm or anything. Give it Overwhelm's kind of annoying. Well, second Rhyme Tusk, which is nice. Because this one is just kind of fodder now.
Winter is the Freljord's true ruler.
Okay. How do you want to do this? Playing around Frostbite must be really annoying for this deck. Oh, Cascade, yep. Concerted Strike, that's not nice. This has already been targeted this turn. Let me see. Man, it's kind of annoying. Even if I do Troll Chain, right, this is going to go up to 6 HP. I can bump that down. The best thing I can do is just culling this just to get it out of here. But no matter what, this Rhyme Tusk is dying. There's not a whole lot I can do about it either. Troll Chant, 6 HP, minus this to 4. It's still doing 7 total. Well, at least they gave me a good chance to use culling. Because I think this culling is going to very quickly be unuseful. I can open attack though and put this down to 0. 0 attack's good for me. Take 7, that's fine. They really don't like my Rhyme Tusk Shaman lockdown, huh? Another Trapper's not very good.
Show me a target.
I'm through waiting.
My path is set.
Brittle Steal that. I could do double Trapper. If I play double Trapper, my top cards are going to be Yetis. I can draw past them with Whispered Words, though. Triple Dragon. That is scary. Hey, we're on infinite Yetis, though. Let's go. Love to see it. Brittle Steel, okay. Zenith Blade, not the big one. Oh, I guess you're gonna do both. That makes sense. Okay. Yeti Yeti. Pantheon. Alright, what'd you get? Just no elusive and scout, please. Challenger. That's pretty annoying. It's kind of funny though that I have Brittle Steel for that. Quick attack, fearsome challenger, barrier. Brittle Steel.
My aim is true.
Nice. I'm gonna take off the barrier. Let's see. This doesn't kill my Yeti. This doesn't kill here. And we'll do that. Seems pretty good. That quick Brittle Steel last turn. Coming in clutch.
Stories were true.
Gem. Okay. Alright, so how we doing with Crystal Arrow? How does this work? Frostbite an enemy and all other enemies with 3 or less health. Okay. We'll Frostbite this. I'll also Frostbite that, and I get to draw a card. Troll Chant. Pretty cool.
I've got your back.
Enemies with 0 attack can't block. So I could do Troll Chant here and here. This will have 0 attack. And then Troll Chant. I think I have to do something like this. Let's do Troll Chant here, here. This has 0 attack, so I can't block again. And then I can do a full swing. Ashe will shoot to Pantheon, so he can't block. It'll only be 3-2 blocking. And that's still lethal. Nice, okay, we got him. Really interesting, tricky use of Troll Chant there.
A new Freljord will rise.
I hope I was able to provide some context and some interest in any of these decks. No matter which one you go for, I hope it works for you. You enjoy the deck and you get some wins if that's what you're going for. Get some LP if you're playing them in ranked. Definitely stop by the stream if you have any questions about them. I'd be happy to talk about anything like matchup, stuff like that. Show the games off and be able to provide additional context. And that's it for this one. Please like and subscribe if you thought this video was informative or entertaining. It really helps me out since I'm still trying to grow. I'll be releasing more deck profiles, guides, and gameplay highlights in the near future. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one. Laters!